Okay, welcome back. This is part two of the Ninja Sweepstakes Ninja tutorial. We covered the very basics in the first part. We're going to go through a few other things here and just kind of, I don't know, just kind of browse around and explain to you what things do, don't do, what some things like I just have no idea what they do or are supposed to do. So anyway, um, up here, top left, we'll start with File. And we've got an option to export custom sweepstakes list. Now, I haven't tried that, but I have a pretty good idea what that is, and that's basically making a file or backing up stuff and using it somewhere else. There really isn't a lot explained anywhere on Ninja's website that I can find about that, but I'm sure it also relates to syncing your sweepstakes between computers. Now, I never did this before. I did the backup sweepstakes files. It did create a whole bunch of folders in the directory that I specified, but like no instructions on like what to do next. And I couldn't find any videos or other tutorials about this. Restore sweepstakes files. Again, I'm not quite sure what's up with this whole syncing between computers things because I went to download another copy of Ninja for another computer on my network, and basically I had to download a trial version again, and I haven't really gotten through to like seeing if it would work by restoring my sweepstakes files and things like that, or if I could just enter my current username and password, or if the license was only good for my one computer, whether it was on my network or an outside computer like between home and work. So I'm not going to really go there until somebody can explain to me myself kind of how to use those a little bit better. Hint, hint, Jonathan. Okay, so we're done with the File tab. We go to Tutorials, and we're going to skip Tutorials because you're watching one, right? Just as a note, side note, I don't work for Jonathan or Sweepstakes Ninja. I'm an avid user, and I love the software. It has a lot of great things that it does. It's got a few things that you'll find that I don't really care about. But that's all part of this tutorial. So we're going to skip Jonathan's tutorials because I didn't find them very useful, unfortunately. Sorry, Jonathan. So we'll go right to Tools, and this is a good spot right here. We go to Tools and Advanced Settings because that's our only choice. The first thing we see is a number here. I think by default the number is set to 0. I don't remember what it was when I started the software up the first time. But if you enter a number between, say, 1,000 and 30,000, that's going to correspond to how many seconds Sweepstakes Ninja takes between entering one sweep and then waiting until it enters the next sweep, and then when it's done with that, entering the next sweep. So I have mine set to 1,000 now, which is, if you look here, 1,000 equals 1 second, and 30,000 would equal 30 seconds. I've tried the 5,000. It seemed a little lengthy to me. If you put in 30 seconds or 30,000 for that number, man, with the hundreds and hundreds of sweepstakes that come with Ninja by default, you're going to be there just kind of sitting and waiting and watching all day. However, you may prefer that because it enters those sweepstakes at different times per day, waiting that 30 seconds. By the time you get from the first one to the last one, there could be a 4 or 5 hour difference. So depending on your point of view about stuff, you can set that timer wherever you want it. I happen to like 1,000, but now that I've been explaining that, I may change that and see if I get any better luck by either starting earlier in the day or spacing things out a little bit more. Show pop-ups when hovering over Ninja Sweepstakes. This is one of the most annoying features of Ninja ever. So we're going to check that on. We're going to show you what it does. And then show pop-up when hovering over your submission sweepstakes. We're going to leave that off because we're not going to deal with your sweepstakes tabs yet. For purposes here, Jonathan changed the name of this tab from your submissions sweepstakes to your sweepstakes because there's a little something lost in the translation between Canadian and American, I guess. So your submissions and your sweepstakes are exactly the same thing. And then show display preview window by default. We'll check that on, and that basically, I'm going to hit OK now. This is a preview window, so when you go to enter all these sweeps, each sweep that it goes to, you'll see a preview of that sweep in this window. You can also get to this window by hitting the F2 key, and I believe I can get out of it by doing the same thing. Just hit F2 again, and it'll bring back up the sweepstakes. Now you notice all these little pop-ups when I hover over everything and like everything and anything. It's so annoying. And the worst part is that these pop-ups right here don't really give you a lot of info, and they don't stay up very long. So if you get a pop-up that's pretty lengthy, like this one, good luck trying to read it and retain it all in the time that that it gives you. However, we can turn those off. We go back to Tools and Advanced Settings. We'll turn off those pop-ups like that. Now, if we want to really see the details of a sweepstake, all we got to do is hit the word click for that sweepstake, and that'll give you the name of it, the expiration date, the URL if you want to use your own browser to do it. It'll give you the frequency. Yeah, there's the frequency, Kenneth, every 24 hours. And the rules and everything. And if you notice, I've got plenty of time to read it. I've got plenty of time to scroll down and read all the rules, not very many for them. The whole Lion King thing, and it gives a whole description of all that. But the point is, you don't have to have the annoying pop-ups. You can do it yourself, and that applies for just about any sweep. Well, just all of the sweeps. Just hit that click button, and here's your sweepstakes. That easy. And we'll close the window. You can actually, let me just show you one more function. If you do the click thing, the little arrows down here will move you to the next sweepstake, and then the next sweepstake, and the next sweepstake. Now, if you find that there's some sweepstakes in Ninja Sweepstakes, and you can tell which tab you're in because the lighter colored tab, as opposed to the darker colored ones, the lighter colored one is the tab that you're in. If you don't want to enter one, say like Louisiana Tea, I don't remember why I didn't want to enter this one, but all you have to do is highlight the sweepstake. Oops, I hit the click, sorry. Highlight the sweepstake, and then where it has the green check next to it, just click on that green check mark. That'll change it to a red check mark. Your other options are that you can delete the highlighted sweepstakes. So if we highlight that sweepstake for Louisiana Tea, we can delete it. And now it'll take a couple of seconds for Ninja to reprocess all those files and put everything, basically putting that whole list kind of back together, minus the selections that I've deleted. In this case, it was just that one Louisiana Tea thing. I still can't remember to this day why I didn't want to do that one. Maybe I just hate Louisiana Tea. Who knows? Point is that I am sitting here talking, wasting precious seconds while Sweepstakes Ninja does its update thing. So there we go. So if you notice now, Louisiana Tea is gone out of here. Now, a nice function on this is that I can restore the deleted sweepstakes. It'll put that back in. And rather than make you wait through another processing file and things like that, I just want to add one thing. This delete the highlighted sweepstakes and restore the highlighted sweepstakes. If you go to your sweepstakes, they don't have those options. You can delete or remove a sweepstake, but there's no option like Ninja Sweepstakes where you can restore those deleted sweeps. And I think that that's something that the developer, Jonathan, should think about adding because everybody messes up once in a while. And one last thing on the timer, if you remember in the tools, advanced settings, that timer for changing the settings between 1,000, 1 second, or 0 seconds and 30 seconds, that also only works in Ninja Sweepstakes right here. If you go to your sweepstakes tab, we'll talk about that again, but that timer, it'll still be there, or it used to be anyway, let's see. Yeah, the timer is still there, but the timer does not function in your sweepstakes. So just bear that in mind if you want to slow down your sweepstakes. Good luck. I think that would be a nice thing to add to everything. I think it should just be kind of across the board. The same functionality that Ninja Sweepstakes has, I think that your sweepstakes should have. And instant wins, well, we'll talk about instant wins later. So for now, that pretty much covers a little more in depth some of the upper toolbar stuff and what they do and some of the things that you can do with the Ninja Sweepstakes tab. And that's about it. We're going to be holding a little quiz after this. I hope you do well on it, and stay tuned for part 3.